the two most important books I've read last year are this: 48 Laws of Power and the Bible. And also I've read Atomic Habits. Yeah. But these are the most important books which I think you ever need to read, I think. So 5 books, but most of all the Bible. And that's the thing which you might think, why am I taking so long to read a book? Taking 2 months or what? Is because I have prioritized every day to make sure that I read at least a chapter from the Bible. And I do this chronologically. So if you have any tips or anything to say about this also, just comment down below. But also 48 Laws of Power. Wow, just wow. This book is very great for beginners, but also, what can I say? It depends. You should be very careful when reading this book. The author who wrote this book didn't hold back anything. He was intentional with what he has kept in this book in the content. The content, I can say, as you can read from the cover here, 48 laws of power. And power mostly is not something which is genuinely pure to say. It's how you interpret it yourself and how you tend to use it and how you tend to acquire it. So yeah, reading this book, it has been divided. I can say I've divided the laws into three subtypes of laws, which are basically the purely evil laws, the laws which are just purely evil, like using the scapegoat, or law that say that make other people work for you and then take the credit for it. That's just pure evil. But there are good laws that tell you, like, never outshine the masters. Those are just basic laws in life that if you don't follow them, you end up getting hurt. And they are just, I can say, neutral laws, laws just which are just there to follow, and they are not bad or negative, but also they can be bad or negative, bad or good, I can say, but it just depends on the person who is using the laws. So I will soon prepare a full in-depth tutorial, or I can say full in-depth review of this book right here. So just stay tuned. I think after my tests, yeah, I have tests next week. So soon after I finish the tests, I will get into this and prepare a very nice, well review for this. So 2026, I'm going to start with the review of this book, which I just finished last year. I read it for 48 days. Yeah. So the title will be that. I read 48 Laws of Power in 48 days, something catchy. And I did do that, even though, despite you can say not exactly 48 days, but I made sure each day I open this book, I finish a law. So I basically use 48 days. So yeah, I'm just trying to be legit there. But I hope I'll get to apply some of these rules here. But generally, anybody who is going to read this book, don't try to get power by your own will or by your own mind. Power that is given by, when, for example, when you meet a person who is genuinely being favored or has the grace of God, he or she will always outsmart you, no matter how tricky you are, no matter how well articulated you are in the 48 laws of power. You'll always be defeated by a person who is godly gifted power. So just make sure you work hard for it. And power that is given by God is given when you have the authority. God gives you the authority to wield that power. So you should seek the authority. And the authority is done or is achieved by being responsible for your actions, being responsible for something. That's when authority came. This is also something which I've spoken with a fellow friend of mine, but also a spiritual mentor of mine told me that the power which you get from here isn't as genuine as the power which is granted by God. So you should always seek that too. But apart from that, this book is very nice. It's something we young people, we should focus more on doing things which seem boring, I can say, but they have value, because in this life, if you're not able to sit down and focus on something as boring as reading a book, or something that isn't flashy or vibey, you won't do anything important in your life. If you're just the type of person that you're always going for short dopamine bursts or short pleasure, you won't do something that will last. You want to build something that will last. So basically, I'm reading these books for the purpose of, first of all, rewiring my mind, being able to focus on things which are not as exciting as others, but things which have long-term effects. So my ability, I think, this is the second book I'm finishing right now. So I do believe that I've grown that skill of being able to focus, because just you can see the number of pages I've covered, and I've done this without stop. I started and I finished it. So that's something also good I suggest. As a man, in every moment of your time, especially when you're heading to 2026, you should have something. You should always be reading a book, I can say. You have to read, my friend. If you don't read, I don't know where we get the knowledge. Because watching podcasts, yeah, it's good if you are a podcast watcher or you listen to audiobooks and stuff. It's good, but actually reading something from a fellow human being who has wrote it down and relating with it with your own personal past experiences, it puts it gives you an edge over people who just listen podcasts, just watch passively. I find myself, the knowledge which I get from books is much more foundacious to me, and it sticks more with me rather than the because what can I tell you? This is something we have invested. I have invested for a month just reading one's person's mentality. So you can see there, instead of just an hour of a podcast, you won't understand most. You will understand things, but at the end of the day, it will just be forgotten. But this, a month of reading this, you put yourself in the head of the author. You get to think like how he thinks. You get to know what he knows. That I think so will always be better than watching podcasts and stuff. So for me, honestly, 48 Laws of Power, it has helped me to stop being naive, and I've just become more vigilant because I got into a political incident. So I had to know how politics operate. Basically, this book, every politician, I think, every great politician has to read this book or is currently applying the laws in this book. Yeah, because politics is always about manipulation, deceiving, positioning yourself in society. So this is what this book basically talks about. So yeah, I had to read it so that I can make sure I don't end up in the same situation that I ended up with. But overall, after now, yeah, I wanted to say that I am now, I am now going to be more intentional on the books I read. I want each book I read to solve a certain specific point. So I want you guys to comment down below which book is best for finances. That's one, but also something best for. I want to be good in social skills. Yeah, public speaking and just talking to people. I want to be good in that. But also the other book which I've just found myself, which will be useful for me, is Semen Retention. That I think will be my best read this year, because Semen Retention is just a book basically talking about how men we can control lust, and how abstaining from sexual related activities can build our minds and focus more in life, and the advantages of withholding or containing our sexual energies and stuff like that. It's a weird book, but I think this will be my best book I've read so far. Again, I can say, because I'm just too excited. I remember this excitement I had it when I'm reading For 10 Laws of Power. But For 10 Laws of Power disappointed me because it was just basically teaching me to be evil, and I can say I'm not raised that way. I'm not raised to take advantage of others. I'm not raised on like putting the blame on others, using people as scapegoats. I'm not raised like that. I just deny that. But it has taught me that knowing those laws, it helps you not end up in the positions where those laws will be used against you. So right now I can be a scapegoat, or no one can use me like other people use other people. So yeah, basically that's it about books and stuff. But the Bible, guys, again, the Bible. It's very important for everybody to read the Bible each day. Make sure I don't miss a day without reading a chapter from the Bible. This book doesn't have like an instant impact in your life, but and you can see the impact directly. For my side, perhaps I don't see the impact directly, but indirectly I see changes. I have noticed changes in myself, in the way I'm able to present myself, how lucky I'm getting, or how just things tend to align more when you are reading the Bible daily. So for me, it has worked, and I really hope it can work to any human being out there listening. So make sure you grab yourself. If you don't have a copy, yeah, the other thing I want to speak about, Bibles are becoming more and more altered as days goes on. So if until now you don't have a Bible, make sure you rush towards your bookstore, Bible store. Make sure you get yourself a physical copy of a Bible. These digital copies are easily manipulated. Make sure you get the real thing. So make sure you get yourself a Bible. Make sure you read it every day. And trust me, perhaps you don't see direct changes, perhaps you see direct changes, but trust me, it will change your life. So that's it for tonight. Just like to say good night to everybody, and it's nice talking to you. Yeah, let's just keep supporting each other. Mm, I might not know what I'm doing now, but I know I'm doing something right there, isn't it? Because I see myself being in a better position than I was a year ago. I see myself getting more clarity on what I really want to do, what I really want to produce, what I want to create. I am becoming more stress tolerant, I can say, yeah, because I'm going through a lot. Just imagine I'm a computer engineering student. I have to attend classes every day, and also I have to edit. There's this massive project I'm working on. I have to edit. I have to make sure I meet the deadline, but also have to prepare my own personal content, which is also a hassle. But also I have to manage my business at home. I have a business. If all of you don't know, I'm running a local business that I have to make sure each and every day everything is going smoothly. But also, yeah, there's more things I can't disclose now, but I hope in time you get to know what I'm going through, and perhaps we share opinions on how to handle different matters in life, because we're just all humans, we're all humans, and I believe like we shouldn't uh, we shouldn't like stop caring about each other. You know what I mean? And we should care about each other more, help each other more, make sure each and every one of us reach our desired goals that God has set for us to achieve in this earth. So I believe by being here, I might be helping you out, and I believe you have a contribution to my goal. So that's why I just want to keep it like that. Just let's share things, let's share resources, let's share ideas. You have an opinion, you don't like the way how I'm lighting things, don't like the way I'm talking, just put it out there. I'll read the comment, I will reevaluate myself, and I'll make changes to improve my art. So that's what I want to say about all this. This was a quick, rough, very rough video I've made today. I just felt like being authentic. I didn't script anything. It's just being me talking to you one on one. Yeah. So I really loved it, and I hope it will be good. Or else I haven't placed the record on the camera or stuff like that. I hope that's not the case. But yeah, so now I'm just going to check out this footage, see if it works, and I'll probably upload it. Yeah, so goodbye.